Most skinny fat guys think they have a fat loss problem, so they act like it. They cut their calories, they eat way too little, they do a lot of cardio, restrict the hell out of themselves and out of their diet. They completely hate their life just to basically look the same. And it's the most frustrating thing ever, to be fair, because I should know. I was there for 3 years. I would, run in the morning, lift in the afternoon, eat as little as humanly possible. I was basically going full on Goggins mode. But despite all of that, I was still stuck with that annoying flabby belly, skinny arms, and it was the most confusing thing ever, because the more I did, the worse my problem got, basically. And essentially, since you're watching this video, you probably figured out that I figured it out, and I got lean, athletic, and confident. So here's my transformation. Here's when I was skinny fat, and here's how I look right now. But there is one thing that I realized after making, or before making, this transformation that allowed me to make this transformation, and that is that there is one simple shift that separates the guys who actually get lean and confident as skinny fat men and those who stay stuck for life. And the thing is, it has nothing to do with more cardio, stricter training programs, stricter diet, nothing like that. You don't even need to work harder. You probably need to work less hard in order to get those results. And I know this sounds completely backwards, but in the next couple of minutes, I will break down exactly what this shift is and exactly step by step what you need to do instead of what you're doing right now to get lean, athletic, and confident as a skinny fat man, because you do fucking deserve it, my man. You're super disciplined, you're super consistent, you just need the right system and plan in place to basically be consistent with, be hardworking with. But before I do that, I actually want to explain what skinny fat means so that you can understand what situation you're actually in and why what you're doing right now, basically obsessing over fat loss, why that is not bringing you any results, but it's actually making your problem a lot worse, to be fair. So when you're skinny fat, you don't have just one problem. You have two problems at the same time. You don't have enough muscle and you're carrying way too much body fat. And what happens when you do this and obsess over fat loss is that, sure, you lose some fat, but you also lose a lot of muscle along with it, which is why you're not getting to that lean, athletic version of yourself. Because if you're actually trying to get in shape, get in the athletic shape, you need to have some kind of shape. And if you're obsessing over fat loss when you don't have enough muscle, you don't have any shape below the fat you're trying to lose. Which is why losing just fat and focusing or obsessing over just fat loss is making your progress progressively worse. And that is essentially the core problem. That is exactly why you don't look better despite putting all this hard work in. Because sure, you might be losing some fat, but you're also losing a lot of muscle along with it, which just makes you into this smaller version of skinny fat. And that is why cutting does not work for skinny fat men, which is where the shift I want to talk about comes in play. So instead of obsessing over fat loss, I want you to shift to start obsessing over rebuilding your body. Because as I have already mentioned, most skinny fat guys think they just need to lose the belly and all their problems will finally be solved, right? But as I already mentioned, you don't have a lot of muscle and you do have a lot of fat. So when you obsess over just losing the belly, you just end up looking worse. Like more skinny fat, still skinny, still bloated, still a bit of belly fat at the bottom. And that's probably not what you want. Since you're still watching this video, what you probably want is this lean, athletic kind of physique. Something like a Spider-Man, basically. And you can only get to that place by not losing fat and not just building muscle, because that is not a good way to go about. Like, honestly, that just makes you more fatter. But what you want to do is rebuild, reconstruct your body. And that is literally what helps you rebuild and reshape and build that nicer body. Not losing the fat, but actually rebuilding and reconstructing your whole body in a very specific way. And I actually want to give you something tangible you can apply right away after watching this video. Here are 3 steps or 3 things you need to start doing differently in order not to just lose the belly fat and stay skinny fat for life, but actually get that lean, athletic body that you're after. Step number 1, you gotta completely eliminate the idea that cardio is going to, help you get in shape. It won't. And the thing is, if you totally enjoy running and enjoy cardio, go ahead, do it, but don't make that the main calorie burning activity and don't just obsess over that. But if you do hate cardio, I want you to completely, literally grab the thought and throw it away out of the window and replace that idea that cardio needs to be there if you want to get in shape. It doesn't need to be. What you only need, like literally the only thing that completely transformed my body was not running, no HIIT, nothing like that. It was walking 7, maybe 8 to 10K steps every single day. As simple as that. And there are really 2 reasons why walking is totally superior to running when you're trying to get leaner and more athletic. And that is, first of all, it does not burn muscle like aggressive running and aggressive cardio does. And second of all, you can actually keep up with it. It is sustainable. Everybody can walk 8, maybe 7 to 10K steps every single day. It's totally easily doable. Like, you don't even need to try hard or anything. And just to get back to the people who actually enjoy running, you can still run, obviously. Like, I'm not telling you, like, you cannot do this. If you enjoy it, it's all about the enjoyment, right? Like, it's all about that. It's fully about the enjoyment. So if you actually enjoy running, things that I'm about to mention right now, so step 2 and 3 are like crucial and non-negotiable that you need to do if you actually want to get in shape while still enjoying your runs. So thing number 2 that you need to completely like reconstruct in your current approach is that you need to, again, ditch the idea that eating less is going to get you in shape and start eating more. Yes, start eating more. Not like a huge surplus, not a 800 calorie surplus, not even a surplus at all. What I want you to start doing instead of having this extreme calorie deficit is to just hop on a small 3, maybe 200 calorie deficit, because this gives your body enough fuel so that you're actually performing good at the gym. You're building muscle, you're actually training hard, and you have the energy to train hard, so you're actually keeping or even building muscle, but the deficit is not so big so that you're actually losing the fat that you want to lose in the first place, right? And I know that you probably heard what I'm about to say next like a million times, but please, you need to hit 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. It is crucial to hold on to your muscle while in a deficit. And if you're like, in most cases, you can even build muscle while losing fat. That is called the whole rebuild section of this thingy, right? Like, this is how we're rebuilding. And number 3, you actually want to lift with intention, because most skinny fat guys, or at least from my experience, from what I did when I was skinny fat, because essentially I'm just talking to my younger self, is that I, came into the gym and I lifted whatever felt good, right? Like, I didn't really have a solid program in place. I just came in, lifted whatever I kind of liked maybe. I lifted the weights that felt good. I didn't really have any intention behind that training. I didn't really have any system in place that would allow me to get stronger and build more muscle. And essentially, that's what kept me skinny fat, because my body had really no reason to build muscle. So instead of doing that, I want you to implement something I call the micro progression protocol. And what this essentially means that you're either adding reps or weight every single session. And just to kind of give you a small breakdown of how this micro progression protocol works, basically, is that we only want to be doing 3 sets on all exercises. We want to be focusing on compound lifts, and we want to be doing 4 to 6 reps. So we'll be working within a 4 to 6 rep range. So let me actually give you an example of how this looks like in the real world, in actual like practice. So let's say you want to, you want to go for a bench press. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to put on, or kind of like find some weight that you can lift for at least 4 reps and 3 sets. That is like the total floor of the rep range, and that's where you want to start. And every single session, you will be working on getting closer to the roof of the rep range, and hence basically hitting 6 reps on all 3 sets. And then once you manage to hit 6 reps on all 3 sets, you want to move up 5 pounds. So let's say you started with 100 pounds. After you have maxed out the rep range and hit 6 reps on all 3 sets, you want to move up to 105 pounds and literally just repeat the process all over again and again and again. And that's it. That's how simple it is. So that is the system I want you to be using at the gym. Micro progression protocol, work in a 4 to 6 rep range, mainly focus on compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, etc. Work with 3 sets, and always add 5 pounds whenever you max out the 4 to 6 rep range. That is, hit 6 reps on all 3 sets. It's that simple. And if you change these 3 things in your full approach to, rebuilding your body, because right now you're not losing fat, you're not obsessing over fat loss, you are completely rebuilding slash reconstructing your body. And that is what will get you from skinny fat to lean and athletic, because you're losing the belly fat that you have too much of, and you're building the muscle that you do not have enough of, if you know what I mean. And there's one little like side lesson that I want to give you in this video, and that is that this will take time, and this will, test your patience, because the results will not come quick. Like, it's completely understandable in my point of view that rebuilding your body like this, it took you a long time to get skinny fat, because there was some like weird like shit happening, weird processes, weird, like dietary changes or like dietary approach, wrong like nutrition, training approach and everything like that. And you didn't become skinny fat overnight, the same way you will not escape skinny fat overnight. And I want you to be completely okay with that. A transformation like this takes typically, say, 16 weeks to completely occur. But once you, reach those 16 weeks, you will be so fucking proud of yourself that you have, went through it and made it happen. So please, whatever you do, do not switch programs, do not do anything. Stick to this for 16 weeks and you will get lean. I promise you. You can literally sue me if you don't. I swear to God. So that's everything. I hope this video helped, and I hope it kind of like helped you, click something in your mind, made you realize something. So if it did, and if it helped, please consider clicking the subscribe button, because I post content like this every single week to basically help younger myself, more skinny fat myself, get out of it, because this is literally the type of content I would appreciate when I was back skinny fat. It would make my process way, way faster and way easier. So please, if you're a skinny fat guy and if this video made something click for you, helped you in some way, shape, or form, please hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.